What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? A lot of Eagles talk, but Kyle Schwarber re-signs with the Phillies, and I want to talk about that. 5 years, $150 million, $30 million a year. Yep, it's kind of what we thought. No real surprises here. My name is John Marks. You follow me on all social medias and YouTube at John Marks Media. Of course, 97.5 The Fanatic. Follow us on YouTube at 975 The Fanatic. If you're not already subscribed to us, please subscribe. Got to get those, trying to get that subscribe up, those numbers up, and make sure you are commenting and liking. That way, maybe some Phillies fans out there that don't know we're on YouTube or don't know about us can find us, but we appreciate it. So the numbers are out, and it's really, really interesting. So first of all, Kyle Schwarber re-signing with the Phillies is no surprise. It's what I expected. It's about the amount of money a year I suspected it was going to be. He ended up getting 5 years instead of a fourth with an option because other teams were willing to go 5 years. The Phillies went 5 years. John Middleton was not going to be outbid unless a team was willing to go above and beyond what the Phillies were willing to do. And if you know anything about baseball owners, for the most part, they're not ready to come off the top rope and do that. So, yeah. So here's the numbers that were put out there, and this is per Ken Rosenthal. Kyle Schwarber's known offers. He signed with the Phillies for 5 years and $150 million a year, $30 million a year. According to Ken Rosenthal, the Orioles matched the offer, 5 years, $150 million, and the Reds, 5 years, $125 million, and the Pirates 4 for 120. With the Mets involved in all of that, there might have been some other teams. And again, these are reports. We don't know if this is actually accurate, but it makes a lot of sense. So for whatever reason in baseball, the owners, and I guess you could use the C word, collusion, but the owners don't want to say, hey, all right, the Phillies are offering you 5 for 150. Let's go 7 and 210. We want you. They want to go, all right, we'll match that offer, or we're willing to give you a 6th year, or maybe we're willing to give you $32 million a year. There was one way that Kyle Schwarber wasn't going to be a Philly, is if a team stepped up, like the Reds, his hometown team, and said 7 years, 210. It's an offer he can't refuse. When I see these offers right here, the Orioles 550, you're matching the offer for Kyle Schwarber? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to say, no, he's going to say no. He's with a team that is a playoff team, the Phillies, and he likes being here. He's had success here. Fans love him. This is a Philadelphia loves Kyle Schwarber. It's a good spot for him. Now, if the Orioles would have offered 6 years and $35 million a year, now he's got a real decision on his hands. Matching the offer from Baltimore's perspective, matching the offer for Kyle Schwarber, isn't that an offer they have to know he's going to refuse? Why would you even offer it? You think he's going to say, you know what, Phillies, I'm going to go to the Orioles with the same offer that you offered me. I'm going to go to the Orioles. It's stupid. The Reds, what are they looking for, a hometown discount? If you want the player, then the Reds, all right, maybe the Reds match it because it's a hometown team and they're pulling at the heartstrings of Kyle Schwarber, and they're hoping Schwarber says, hey, I want to go play at home. But ultimately, he probably wasn't going to do that. You have to make him an offer where he can't refuse it. There's nothing but offers that were made that were going to be refused. The Pirates 4 for 120. What are we doing? Were they in the dark of the other offers out there? Did they not know? If you're the agent, you're telling the Pirates this is what was offered. And the Pirates say, what? This is the most we can do. I mean, you're going to be crazy. So it's insane for any of these other teams to think that they were going to get Kyle Schwarber. All right, maybe if the Orioles came in and said, we'll give you 3 years, $120 million, and then you're a free agent again, even then, you're going to take the guaranteed $150 million, which Kyle Schwarber did. So I'm absolutely positively shocked that these teams thought that they were going to get Kyle Schwarber for the same amount of money that the Phillies, and in the Reds case, less. 5 for 125? Yeah, sure. Kyle Schwarber's going to take $25 million less to go play for the Reds. So Kyle Schwarber is a Philly. Is it a good deal for the team? It's a good deal for Kyle Schwarber because it's the most money that was offered out there. But what's Kyle Schwarber look like in year 5 of this deal? I mean, really, it doesn't matter because year 5 is probably when this is all over and you're trading Kyle Schwarber away. Maybe Bryce Harper is being traded away. I don't know. Like, I don't really care what it looks like in 5 years. And Kyle Schwarber, for me, he's not 35 right now to where you're paying him when he's 41. And he's not going to be the same player, but can he be a $35 million or 35 home run guy in 4 years? Yeah. It's what you do in Major League Baseball. You're trying to spread it out, and you know that the contract's he's not going to be worth it at the tail end of the contract, and you deal with it. And Dave Dombrowski, what does he care? John Middleton, ultimately, he's trying to win right now. This is the window of opportunity. So this is no real surprise that they were willing to do this. I know my Uncle Jamie was involved, and he texted me, and he hates the deal. I just don't like, you're going to let Kyle Schwarber leave? I mean, I think you have to be realistic about this. Okay, if you let Kyle Schwarber leave, you could sign Pete Alonso. It wouldn't be the end of the world. I get it. I'm not even disagreeing with that. Do you have Pete Alonso instead of Kyle Schwarber, and you're able to sign somebody else because of it? Yeah, like the team, they're making the playoffs with Pete Alonso or with Kyle Schwarber. But Kyle Schwarber was their best offensive player last year. And he's also puts butts in the seats. And believe me, that matters. Hitting 56 home runs, especially with Bryce Harper kind of being very good but not great at this point, he's a box office draw, and that matters. And I just don't know what the Phillies fan would say. We're not bringing back Kyle Schwarber because we didn't want to match an offer that was out there. So Kyle Schwarber coming back to the Phillies. The reality is that this team's window of opportunity is closing. It's still there. They have great starting pitching, even with Zach Wheeler being out, but their lineup is what I'm worried about. And if you take Kyle Schwarber out of that, it's obviously not as good. But the moves that they make outside of Kyle Schwarber are going to be really what determines where the Phillies end up in 2026. Because Schwarber, I'd be shocked if he's hitting 50 home runs this year. Is he hitting in the 40s? He better be. They need him to do that. But where do they go from here? So you have Kyle Schwarber. He's your DH. You have Bryce Harper as your first baseman. Stott, could there be a move made? Sure. I don't see it. So Stott, second base, possible move. Trey Turner's your shortstop. What do you do at third base? You're in a desperate need for an outfielder right now. You're starting outfield right now because Nick Castellanos will not be here. I'll be absolutely positively floored if Castellanos is here this year. That means you have Justin Crawford, who doesn't have a major league at bat, and now you're looking at him as an everyday starter. You have Brandon Marsh, who you don't want to play center field, and you really want as a platoon bat, a plus platoon. And then who? Weston Wilson. Now, Harrison Bader could be re-signed at this point, and he's looking at probably 3 years, $30 million. All right. Be careful what you wish for. He was a good player. It was a good trade, really good trade by Dave Dombrowski. But he was injured at the end of the year. And if you look at his career, he's injury prone. But also, if you're looking for the back of the baseball card isn't what he was in his tenure in Philadelphia after the trade deadline. His baseball card isn't that. And I don't expect him to turn into a player that he wasn't elsewhere. I think he's a good player, and I like the way he plays center field defensively. And he can be a real piece, but they need another outfielder. If you have Bader, Crawford, and Marsh, really? That's your outfield? So this is where I think that Bohm is traded to free up some salary. Keep this in mind. The Phillies have a limited amount of money if and when they sign JT Realmuto, and I believe they will. They have a limited amount of money that they can go out in free agency and sign. So that means if you're keeping Bohm, then you're going to have to trade one of your top prospects to go out and get an affordable outfielder. I don't know who that would be, but it could be somebody on the trade market. If you decide, hey, we want to sign a guy like Cody Bellinger, which I like Cody Bellinger, but it's going to cost you, and I don't think you want him playing in center field every day. And it's a left-handed bat. You don't have a lot of balance in your lineup with a right-handed bat. So now you're giving up money to sign him, but you need to move Bohm because he's making a lot of money. He's going to make $10 million this year. And you're probably going to have to move off of Matt Strahm too. I expect Matt Strahm to be moved because he's making some money. He's good and has value. And the Phillies have now, with Strahm, 3 lefty relievers in the bullpen. That's a major luxury. Alvarado, Banks isn't making any money. So moving on from Strahm makes a lot of sense because you can get other pieces that you can use this year. So the Schwarber signing was fairly obvious. Real Muto is fairly obvious as well. But now what do you do from here? This is where Dave Dombrowski is really going to earn his money. How do you finish the roster off? And if you're just saying you're signing Bader, that's not enough. What if Crawford comes up to the majors and he can't play? What if he comes up and it's like, wow, he's really struggling? Now you don't even have a starting outfielder. So for third base, if they do need to move on from Bohm, or they move on from Bohm, you have a combination of Mundo Sosa and Otto Kemp. I like Otto Kemp's bat more than most. And I know when he played third base when Bohm was out with an injury, he wasn't great. But I like Kemp's bat, and I like his power. He gives you more pop than Bohm does. Bohm is a better hitter, but he gives you more pop. He could play outfield, which I don't really like. He could play third base, which I like more. And you get a look at him. And if it proves that, no, this isn't working out, then at the trade deadline, you can make a move to get a third baseman in there. So you're probably going into this season knowing that you're going to be looking for a major upgrade in the outfield or a major upgrade at third base at the trade deadline. And that's really the best they're going to be able to do. Their bullpen, for the most part, going to need to add a little bit. The bullpen is good. You have your closer. Your outfield's trouble. And depending on what you do with Bohm, if you keep Bohm, now you're going to have to figure out what to do in the outfield with the trade. And that's probably where you're trading one of your prospects. So if you can trade Bohm, you put Kemp and Sosa at third base. Now Aiden Miller, one of their top prospects, he begins the season at third base at AAA, and you can see if he can be the guy going forward. And I would not have an expectation that he is the guy this year. If he has an unbelievable season at AAA, then you keep him. And you bring him up if need be. Or he develops at AAA because he's really not ready for the show yet. He's very young. And he hasn't played third base. He hasn't played third base at all. So he's going to need to learn the position defensively. But maybe he helps you this year. Maybe he doesn't. But that, for me, that is what's going to happen here, because they have a lot of holes to fill as people are checking in on YouTube and Twitter here. 2029 Schwarber will be rough, but I'm glad they did it. Yeah, I think everybody kind of feels that same sentiment. It's like, yeah, you would rather have given him 3 or 4 years. Reality is the market dictated that he was getting 5 years, and it's a matter of, are you risking losing him, or are you bringing him back and you worry about the fifth year? So that's what I do. I worry about the fifth year. So, all in all, not a lot of change in this lineup for the Phillies. Their starting pitching is good. I've seen a lot of other stuff thrown out there. It's it's hot stove season, so we'll see if there's any trades that are made this week. I would expect another major move by the Phillies sometime soon, maybe this week, where you're going to see some type of a trade. Bohm is likely if you make a trade. Other than that, you're trading away prospects, because if you're not moving Bohm, and I don't think he has a big market, you're getting rid of that salary. And then you can use the $10 million and you can try to squeeze between Strahm, who I think is making 7.5, and Bohm, who's making 10. That gives you $17 million to where you can say, all right, we can go out. Maybe we can get a starting outfielder, because you can't do a Max Kepler. You're already going to be thin in the outfield. So if you bring Bader back, okay, you're bringing Bader back. Not the biggest fan of Bader being the major move that you make in the outfield. So we will see. We will see. So that is that's the Phillies. That's Kyle Schwarber signing a 5-year, $150 million contract. If you want to check out my my Twitter page, there's this really awesome new app, sports app that I've been messing with, and I'm doing some stuff with. And I wouldn't tell you to download it if I didn't think it was really cool, and it's not something that I use. I use it every day. It's one of the first things I go to in the morning. It's called Recap. It's RECAPP. But in particular, go to my Twitter page. You have it right there, at John Marks Media. It's the first thing that you'll see. Just click on the download and download it. And Check it out. It's amazing. It's kind of like Instagram with the stories. And what you do is you follow your teams. So for me, it's the Sixers, Phillies, college football, Flyers, college basketball. And then that's what's showing up in your feed. And it also has, like the major big stories or whatever. And so like you go to the Sixers and it gives you story style. It gives you all the highlights from the game the night before or the last game that they have. With the radio broadcast, with the TV broadcast, post-game sound, stats. You can pull up the box score while you're watching the highlights, and you can literally look at the box score while you're watching the highlights. It's like that with the Flyers. All the goal scores, the post-game sound with Rick Tocchet, same with the 76ers, same with everything. Flyers, Sixers, Phillies, big stories that are out there, national news as well. Go to my Twitter page. Check it out. It's Recap, brand new app that's out there. Download it. And this isn't a Stephen A. Smith thing where I am blindly saying, yeah, download the Solitaire app. This is awesome, and I use it every day. So get to my Twitter page and just click on the link, and it'll take you to the download. Download, use it. Let me know what you think about it, too, because it is pretty cool. All right, everybody, make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube, and we'll be back as there is more news, as I expect Dave Dombrowski to make a major move coming up here shortly during this week. All right, we'll talk to you later. See you. Thanks for watching Middays with Marks. Like and subscribe right here. If you like and subscribe, you probably are loving what you're watching. There's more of it right here. Check it out.